Good evening. This is Akashvani and I am Nishit Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Campaigning ends for single-phase assembly elections in Mizoram and first phase in Chhattisgarh. Electioneering gains momentum for assembly polls in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says interests of all sections of society taken care of in government's welfare schemes. Stage 4 of GRAP invoked in Delhi as air quality continues to be in severe category. Entry of trucks banned in the national capital. President Droupadi Murmu says World Food India an ideal platform to showcase India as a sourcing hub for agricultural and food commodities. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, India thrashed South Africa by 243 runs in Kolkata. Virat Kohli equals Sachin Tendulkar's record of highest number of ODI centuries. And now the news in detail. Campaigning came to an end this evening for the single-phase assembly election in Mizoram and the first phase of poll in Chhattisgarh. Voting for all 40 constituencies in Mizoram and for 20 out of a total of 90 seats in Chhattisgarh will be held on Tuesday. In the second phase of assembly polls in Chhattisgarh, voting will be held for 70 out of the total 90 constituencies on the 17th of this month. Mizoram has more than 8,57,000 voters who will exercise their franchise in 1,276 polling stations. The ruling Mizoram National Front, Indian National Congress and the Zoram People's Movement are contesting in all 40 seats, while the BJP has fielded candidates in 23 assembly segments. The Aam Aadmi Party is contesting in 4 assembly constituencies, while 27 independent candidates are in the fray. The State Election Department said that elaborate arrangements are in place for smooth conduct of elections. Polling officials for far-flung areas left district headquarters today with polling material. We have more from our correspondent.
With the end of the campaigning period, all eyes are now on the polling day. A total of 174 candidates, including 16 women, are in the electoral battle. All international borders along Myanmar and Bangladesh, as well as interstate borders along Manipur, Tripura and Assam have been sealed. Meanwhile, the State Election Department is taking up all measures, leaving nothing to chance for ensuring clean, peaceful and free and fair election. Gingante, Akashvani News, Aizawl.
The Election Commission has called upon all political parties to instruct their leaders and campaigners to ensure that they observe the silence period in all forms of media. During the silence period, star campaigners and other political leaders should refrain from addressing the media by way of press conferences and giving interviews on election matters. The campaigning restrictions during the 48-hour silence period shall also apply to the social media space. The Congress Party today released its manifesto for the assembly elections in Chhattisgarh. The manifesto title, Bharose Ka Ghoshna Patra, was released by senior Congress leaders in 7 districts of the state. Our correspondent has the details.
In its manifesto, Congress has promised to waive off the loans of the farmers and also to buy paddy from the farmers at the rate of 3,200 rupees per quintal. Apart from this, the ruling party has also promised to waive off the loans of women's self-help group. Besides, 10 rupees per kg will be given in addition to the support price for the purchase of minor forest produce. The manifesto promises free education from KG to PG, free electricity up to 200 units and a subsidy of 500 rupees on gas cylinders. Vikalp Shukla, Akashvani News, Raipur.
Meanwhile, campaigning is in full swing in Madhya Pradesh for the single-phase assembly polls on the 17th of this month for 230 constituencies. Star campaigners of political parties are leaving no stone unturned to woo the voters. Prime Minister and senior BJP leader Narendra Modi held election rallies at Seoni and Khandwa today. He said that the BJP's priority is to make life easier for the poor and middle class, and therefore interests of all these sections are taken care of in government's welfare schemes. He said that there's a big difference between the scam-ridden Congress and the poor-friendly BJP government. The Prime Minister said that the double-engine government of BJP is a government dedicated to mothers, sisters and daughters. Mr. Modi said through the aspirational district program, Khandwa district of Madhya Pradesh has truly prospered under the 10-year BJP rule.
हिंदुस्तान के 100 से अधिक जिले ऐसे थे जिन्हें कांग्रेस ने पिछड़ा घोषित कर दिया था। इनमें से अधिकतर दुर्गम आदिवासी बाहुल्य जिले थे। हमारा खंडवा जिला भी कांग्रेस ने उस सूची में डाल के रखा था। उन्होंने भले छोड़ के रखा। मैंने अफसरों से कहा कि खंडवा पर पिछड़ेपन का बोझ नहीं चलेगा, इसलिए हमने खंडवा को एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट, आकांक्षी जिला घोषित किया और इसके विकास पर बल दिया।
Union Minister Rajnath Singh addressed public meetings in Surkhi, Narayawali, Banda and Bina Assembly constituencies of Sagar district. On the other hand, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi participated in rallies at Kukshi and Indore in the state. Party's communication chief and Rajya Sabha MP Jairam Ramesh released the Congress's theme song Badhao Haath Fir Kamalnath in Bhopal for state assembly polls today. Congress leader Kamalnath addressed a public meeting in Datia district. He said the party waived off the loans of 71,000 farmers of the district and will waive off the loans of farmers again. Other parties including SP, BSP and Aam Aadmi Party also campaigned in their strongholds. Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah today criticized Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar for the recently held caste-based survey in the state, describing it as an eyewash. Addressing a public meeting in Muzaffarpur, Mr. Shah alleged that the survey has done injustice to extremely backward caste EBCs and other backward castes OBCs, as the Nitish Kumar-led government has deliberately inflated the figure of Yadav and Muslim population. He said it is orchestrated policy of appeasement of JDU, RJD and Congress-led government that is doing discrimination with backward communities.
सर्वे में क्या किया? यादव और मुस्लिम आबादी बढ़ाकर ईबीसी की आबादी को कम किया। अति पिछड़ा को अन्याय करने का काम ये लालू नीतीश की जोड़ी ने किया है। पिछड़ा समाज का कांग्रेस ने बहिष्कार भी किया, विरोध भी किया। बिहार के ईबीसी और ओबीसी, पिछड़ा और अति पिछड़ा दोनों समाज को कहने आया हूं, ये सर्वे जो है ये छलावा है।
This is Akashwani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Welcome back. The Stage 4 Upgraded Response Action Plan (GRAP) has been imposed in Delhi with immediate effect as air quality continued to deteriorate. Delhi's average air quality index stood at 454 this evening, which is in the severe category. An AQI between 201 and 300 is considered poor, 301 to 400 very poor, and 401 to 500 severe. With the GRP 4 coming into effect, the entry of trucks into Delhi will not be allowed except those carrying essential commodities belonging to essential services and all CNG and electric trucks. Light commercial vehicles registered outside Delhi will also not be permitted other than electric vehicles, CNG and BS6 diesel. It was decided in the subcommittee meeting that the governments of states in the National Capital Region in Delhi can take a decision on discontinuing physical classes even for 6 to 11 standard and conduct online classes. They can also take a decision on allowing public, municipal and private offices to work on 50% strength and the rest to work from home. This is in addition to the preventive and restrictive actions mentioned under Stage 1, Stage 2 and Stage 3 of GRAP. The Commission for Air Quality Management has advised children, elderly and those with respiratory, cardiovascular and other chronic diseases to avoid outdoor activities and stay indoors as much as possible. President Droupadi Murmu has said World Food India is an ideal platform to showcase India as a sourcing hub for agricultural and food commodities. President Murmu was addressing the valedictory session of the World Food India 2023 in New Delhi today. She said World Food India will go a long way in making the rich Indian food culture more familiar to the world. She stressed on the need to make conscious decisions to shift away from such foods that add to the problem of climate change.
We must consider the environmental cost of what we eat. The previous generations did not have to worry on this count, but the time has come when we have to choose our menu in a way that avoids any harm to nature. We need to make conscious decisions to shift away from those foods that add to the problem to climate change and to shift towards the ones that are good for not only our health but also for the health of the planet.
A youth delegation from Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh called on President Droupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The youth are in Delhi under the Tribal Youth Exchange program being organized by the Home Ministry. Addressing the members of the delegation, the President said that India's democratic system provides equal opportunities to everyone. The King of Bhutan, Jigme Khaesar Namgyal Wangchuk, arrived in New Delhi this evening after his two-day visit to Assam. He was received by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. The King of Bhutan arrived in Guwahati on Friday on an 8-day visit to India. The Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said the visit will further strengthen close bonds of friendship and cooperation with a valued partner. The Israel Defense Forces IDF has said that it will open a 4-hour window for people in northern Gaza to move to the south. The IDF has repeatedly called for civilians in Gaza to move towards the southern part of the territory as it intensified its air and ground assault on Gaza City and northern Gaza. The IDF says that the two areas are being used by Palestinian terror group Hamas. A spokesman for the Hamas-run health ministry in the Gaza Strip has said that the Israeli military struck a refugee camp last night, killing at least 38 people in the Al-Maghazi refugee camp. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made an unannounced visit to the West Bank today and met with the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. Mr. Blinken has been working with leaders in the region on a humanitarian pause. The U.S. and its Arab allies are divided on the question of a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today spoke with the Iranian Foreign Minister H. Amir Abdollahian and discussed the grave situation in West Asia and the concern of the international community. In a social media post, Dr. Jaishankar said he also conveyed the importance of preventing escalation and providing humanitarian support. The entertainment channel Colors has collaborated with the Ministry of Women and Child Development to support the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao initiative to bring societal change. The collaboration will help to raise awareness around girl-child abandonment through their latest show Dori starting tomorrow. The minister said television as a medium has played a huge role in holding a mirror to society and led to many women becoming agents of change. The India Meteorological Department IMD has forecast heavy rainfall over Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Karaikal during the next 3 days. Heavy rainfall is also likely over Rayalaseema and South Interior Karnataka tomorrow. Electronics and IT Ministry has issued an order to block 22 illegal betting apps and websites including Mahadev Book. The action follows investigations conducted by the Enforcement Directorate against illegal betting app syndicate and subsequent raids on Mahadev Book in Chhattisgarh, revealing the app's unlawful operations. The owners of Mahadev Book are currently in custody. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, India today registered another massive victory in the tournament as it thrashed South Africa by 243 runs in Kolkata. Chasing a target of 327 runs, South Africa were bundled out for just 83 runs in 27.1 overs. Indian spinners proved their mettle on the field as a 5-wicket haul by Ravindra Jadeja dismantled the Proteas' batting lineup. Fireworks went off all across the stadium as soon as Kuldeep Yadav took the last wicket for India. Earlier opting to bat after winning the toss, India piled up 326 for 5 in stipulated 50 overs. Virat Kohli remained unbeaten on 101 in 121 balls. With this turn, Virat Kohli equals Sachin Tendulkar's record for highest number of centuries in one-day internationals as he smashed his 49th century in the match. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Campaigning ends for single-phase assembly elections in Mizoram and first phase in Chhattisgarh. Electioneering gains momentum for assembly polls in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says interests of all sections of society taken care of in the government's welfare schemes. Stage 4 of GRAP invoked in Delhi as air quality continues to be in severe category. Entry of trucks banned in the national capital. President Droupadi Murmu says World Food India an ideal platform to showcase India as a sourcing hub for agricultural and food commodities. And in the ICC Cricket World Cup, India thrashed South Africa by 243 runs in Kolkata. Virat Kohli equals Sachin Tendulkar's record of highest number of ODI centuries. And that's all in the news at 9. Good night.